Arsenic is a deadly weapon used throughout history in many scandals. It has threatening names such as King of Poisons and the Poison of Kings. Want to know how it earned that title? This deadly element, hidden in the shadows of alcheminal lore and the arsenic-laced wine of the notorious Borgia family, has been a weapon of choice for those with malicious intent. Its dark history as a silent and potent killer reveals a chilling narrative of power struggles, personal vendettas, and clandestine plots. From ancient Rome, where political rivals were dispatched with arsenic-laced goblets, to the Renaissance, when Giulia Tofana created Aqua Tofana to help women escape abusive marriages, arsenic's use in poisoning was both discreet and efficient. The tasteless and odorless nature of this poison made it the perfect tool for the discreet elimination of unwanted individuals. Why was it such a great weapon? Because its symptoms were often mistaken for common ailments, making it a malevolent work in mystery. The story of arsenic begins in ancient times when it was famously known as the poison of kings and the king of poisons. The toxic properties of arsenic were recognized as far back as the times of Hippocrates. In case you don't know, Hippocrates was a renowned ancient Greek physician often called the father of Western medicine. He lived around 460 to 370 BC on the Greek island of Kos and is celebrated for his contributions to medical science. He played an essential role in its early recognition as a toxic substance. Hippocrates documented several cases during his lifetime where individuals experienced symptoms of arsenic poisoning. Although he didn't understand the chemical properties of arsenic in that era, he described the effects of what he referred to as arsenikon, which was likely derived from the Greek word arsenikon, meaning yellow or male. Hippocrates noted that individuals who had ingested or been exposed to arsenikon experienced symptoms such as vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, and skin rashes. He recognized that these symptoms were often associated with exposure to certain substances and correlated them with the consumption of materials containing arsenic, such as food or wine. Arsenic was known for its ability to mimic food poisoning symptoms, making it the perfect choice for assassination. In fact, Nero, the infamous Roman Empire, used arsenic to murder his stepbrother Britannicus for securing his position as emperor. The odorless and tasteless properties of arsenic made it an ideal choice for such a treacherous plot. Britannicus' death under mysterious circumstances shocked Rome, but further solidified Nero's grip on power, earning arsenic a dark reputation as the poison of kings and the king of poisons due to its role in such sinister deeds throughout history. Fast forward to Renaissance Europe when the art of poisoning reached its peak. Contracts to poison rivals and adversaries became a chilling social norm in those days. One notorious family in this gruesome profession was the Borgias. The Borgia family, particularly Pope Alexander VI, his son Caesar Borgia, and Caesar's half-sister Lucrezia Borgia, are infamous for their involvement in numerous scandals and conspiracies during the Italian Renaissance. Arsenic has a sinister connection to the Borgias, as it played a role in their cunning and often deadly plots. One notable story is of the Italian lady Giulia Tofana, who was associated with the Borgia family in the late 15th century. Giulia Tofana is infamous for creating a cosmetic product known as Aqua Tofana that contained arsenic. She provided this deadly concoction to women in need, along with explicit instructions on how to apply it. This beauty treatment, laced with arsenic, was offered to assist women in disposing of their husbands or lovers discreetly. The victims would experience a slow and agonizing death, often attributed to natural causes or illness, making it difficult to trace back to poison. This reminds me of that famous proverb that says, "Poison is a woman's weapon." Fortunately, Giulia's reign of terror came to a tragic end when she was executed for her complicity in hundreds of deaths. Giulia Tofana and her daughter Girolama were eventually executed in Rome in 1659 for their involvement in the poisoning deaths of several hundred men, leaving a chilling legacy tied to arsenic's use as a weapon during the Renaissance. The use of arsenic in cosmetics such as aqua tofana were not unique to the Borgia era. It continued into the early 20th century and was a common source of accidental poisonings. Mainly in the 19th century, arsenic found its way into cosmetics on a commercial level. Women applied arsenic powder to whiten their faces, hair, and even their scalps to get rid of vermin. It was believed that arsenic gave the skin an appearance of pour rejuvenescent, or rejuvenated beauty. Fowler's solution, which was a combination of potassium arsenite, was popular among Victorian prostitutes for its rosy cheek-inducing effects. That's why arsenic also remained a common source of accidental poisoning, hidden in plain sight in the cosmetics of the time. Well, after entering the world of cosmetics, arsenic also spread out its deadly use in wars. World War I brought the horrors of chemical gas warfare, including arsenic-based agents. Lewisite, a powerful vesicant and respiratory irritant, was developed by the U.S. Army Chemical Warfare Service. Upon contact with the skin or mucous membranes, it caused painful, fluid-filled blisters. They also created Adamsite, which was not as potent as Lewisite, but was a respiratory and eye irritant and a vomiting agent. Though developed too late for World War I, they remain listed as potential bioterrorism agents by the CDC. In 1997, the Chemical Weapons Convention, or CWC, was ratified, banning the development, use, and stockpiling of chemical warfare weapons. The US and the former Soviet Union held the largest stockpiles, but both have made significant strides in developing their chemical munitions. However, the risk of stockpile deterioration, explosions, or chemical leakage still poses a serious bioterrorism threat. Apart from all these deadly crimes and sins in which arsenic was used, it also provided great benefits throughout history. Let me introduce you to how arsenic saved lives over the course of several centuries. In ancient Chinese medicine, arsenic was used as a form of fighting fire with fire, employing a poison to combat other illnesses. Ayurvedic herbal medicines often contained arsenic, lead, and mercury. Paracelsus, a 16th century physician, mastered the use of chemically prepared tinctures and introduced the therapeutic use of elements like arsenic. He made a balsam from white arsenic, which was used to treat various ailments. In 1878, Fowler's solution was discovered to lower white cell counts in patients with chronic myelogenous leukemia, or CML. Later, in 1931, arsenic trioxide was used to treat CML, but had severe side effects. However, in the 1990s, studies from China revealed that arsenic trioxide was effective in treating acute promyelocytic leukemia, or APL. In 2000, the FDA approved arsenic trioxide for APL treatment. Research continues to explore its efficacy in other hematological cancers. Syphilis, often referred to as the Great Pox or French Pox, was a devastating disease that swept through Europe in the late 15th century. While there are debates about its origins, it is clear that a major outbreak occurred when King Charles VII of France invaded and took Naples in 1495. An epidemic of a frightening new and terrible disease broke out among his soldiers and the Neapolitan population. This disease, later known as syphilis, became one of the deadliest ailments of the time. Paul Ehrlich, a German physician, was a prominent figure in the medical community. He had joined Robert Koch to work on antitoxins and antitoxin sera, especially the diphtheria antitoxin, in the late 19th century. Ehrlich's work in histological chemistry and staining of bacteria furthered his reputation. In 1899, he became the director of the Staatliches Institut für Experimentelle Therapie in Frankfurt am Main, Germany. Ehrlich was interested in applying staining dyes and arsenicals as antimicrobial agents, and was one of the first to experiment with the concept of magic bullets, or chemicals that could specifically target microorganisms without harming the host tissues. Ehrlich and Hatta were experimenting with various compounds to find an effective treatment for syphilis. In 1910, After much trial and error, they introduced the drug 606, dioxydiamino arsenbenzol dihydrochloride, which they called arsenphenamine. This was a breakthrough in the fight against syphilis. Arsenphenamine effectively cured syphilis infection in laboratory rabbits. Ehrlich and Hatta announced their discovery at the Congress for Internal Medicine in Wiesbaden in 1910. This led to the manufacture of arsenphenamine by the German chemical company Hoechst, where it was marketed as Salvarsan, often referred to as the arsenic that saves or the magic bullet. So this is how arsenic played a big role in solving the problem of syphilis. Well, there is no doubt that the dark and sinister plots in which arsenic were used are very intriguing stories. These cases in history actually show us how dark humanity has been since forever. Humans have used deadly weapons against their own kind, and the weapon just changes in every century, but human nature remains the same. From poison to a miraculous magic bullet, arsenic's story from being a deadly poison to a life savior has evolved. It has left its mark on everything from cosmetics to chemical warfare and life-saving treatments. The deadly history and weaponization of arsenic is a testament to the remarkable power and danger that this element possesses. As we reflect on the dark chapters where arsenic was wielded as a weapon, we also celebrate the progress made in protecting society from such silent and deadly threats. The legacy of arsenic serves as a haunting reminder of the lengths to which humanity has gone to achieve its dark desires, while also marking the progress we have made in the name of safety, truth, and justice.